and some of the best songs. So I'm wondering if that's what put you on the path to write your own music, because suddenly you knew what works for your voice.
Well, certainly it's an amazing masterclass to work with great writers, and on my first record, you know, it was just one of those things where I was so excited to learn from the great writers I had around me, and from the very next record on, I've incorporated my own writing into it, just because it's something I've always felt added that personal touch. And I think sometimes it comes from being inspired by great work you're hearing, and sometimes it comes from having a stack of songs that you say, oh, that's just not me. And you say, okay, well, don't be lazy. What is it you want to say? And so you wind up sitting down and writing. And so it was a great challenge for me to write as much as I did on this record. And whether I do in the future will really depend on kind of the inspiration that comes. But first and foremost, I love to sing, and I love being a song stylist of great work. And so it's been a great combo, I think, and a great learning experience.
Yeah, it's wonderful that you could do all sides of it. Now, I think February you wrote.
I did.
And that's on here, on the Josh Groban An Evening in New York City. And that comes with the Illumination CD, so that's a nice gift at $100. Now, I think we need to do some more business, but we're going to come back.
Business. Okay.
Yeah. I think we're going to take a look at some of the thank you gifts, but we'll be back with Josh Groban. But make the call, right? Shouldn't they call?
Make the call. I'm calling during the breaks from the cell phone I have in my pocket. So, and that's disrupting everybody here. So if I'm doing it, you should as well.
Make the call right now. Support the music here on this station. And I thought about that because I was reading in your bio about the incredible amount of philanthropy you do. And you've really set a good role model for others.
Well, I feel very grateful that from day one in my career, it's given me the platform to be able to give back. And I think that one of the things that I enjoyed doing very much, even before my first record came out, was singing in events and raising awareness for things that meant a lot to me. And so, you know, of course, when you get a name for yourself and you have a table of fans that are kind of ready and willing to be soldiers for your causes, it's a wonderful feeling and a great hobby to be able to see the results of giving back in that way. And so I've loved giving back in many different ways, and my fans have been incredible with my foundation, which is you know, is just going through a change and called the Find Your Light Foundation, and helps young people around the world get the opportunities that I used to have in arts education. But I don't think I would have been inspired to do that kind of work if it wasn't for the experiences that I had growing up, and certainly, you know, involved in that is the great kind of programming I was able to see, lucky enough to see and be involved in on public television. So it's a great thing, and it's a great kind of seed to plant in young people's lives to let that grow.
Absolutely. Well, isn't that so well said? I mean, you see what happens when you get introduced perhaps to a new artist when you're watching public television, whether it's Josh Groban or Chris Bodie or Andrea Bocelli or whoever it may be that you see here, and you feel that light and that energy that you get from a performance like that. Imagine introducing a child to that music as well. Well, that's what we hope to do together, us together, and we count on you right now to make that pledge of support so we can continue bringing the arts into your home and into the lives of children. Thank you. And of course, we are here with Josh Groban. I'm so glad. This is your show, Handpicked Songs.
Handpicked Songs. Yeah. Well, I wanted to, you know, it's as I mentioned earlier, it's really fun to kind of sift back through your catalog of stuff that you've done, live performances you've done, and say, okay, well, we have a chance to, oh my God, I'm at a point where I can do a best of. Like, that's really exciting for me, to be able to do a best of with all the moments on PBS and public television. It's there really have been if I could pinpoint some of the great moments of my career, it has been with public television and through these great PBS specials. So it was a lot of fun. And one of the, you mentioned You Raised Me Up. It was a song that's just had like such an impact on my life, and a huge impact on public television as well. I think I'm like the first person out of 378 people who've sung it on PBS to do the song with you guys. So yeah, it's been really cool to kind of look back and see where some of those moments started.
Well, you absolutely are hearing those best moments, some of Josh's favorite performances. I love that we're seeing some of the songs from all of his favorite concerts. You'll have the chance to get these songs for yourself, to have them on DVD and CD. Why not take a look at these thank you gifts right now and make a call or a pledge of support? So I just learned something about you when we were talking off camera. Oh,
yes.
He's wondering. He's like, uh-oh. What is she? No.
Could be anything. It was a long break. Covered a lot in that little break.
Yes, we did.
Careful.
But I will be careful. What I'm thinking about is when you perform chess
Yes.
in this special, I didn't know that you started out in musical theater in college.
I did, and in high school, too. I went to a great high school called the Los Angeles County High School Performing of the Arts. Los Angeles County High School of the Arts. And studied theater there, and then wound up going to Carnegie Mellon briefly for musical theater. I thought that that would be, well, I mean, when I first, started singing and realized, I could sing, I thought that would be a great world for me, and I still love it so much, and it's still a huge dream of mine to be in the West End or in Broadway.
Oh, and I'm so glad you chose to put that in the special that we were watching.
Had to. You gave me the chance, so I threw it in there.
Well, there are so many songs in this special. We've got lots of ways of saying thanks, and you're actually going to take a look at some of those. But remember, the $100 gift level, we have the DVD of An Evening in New York City and the Illumination CD. Great way for you to get started supporting this station.
You are really in command right now by being able to show your support. So, don't make me beg.
How could you turn down a face like that? So I'm wondering, does he still rehearse? I mean, when it's not new music, when it's music you already know, do you still need to practice those songs?
Absolutely. I think that, the voice is a muscle. It's there's so much to be said for sense memory and getting something in your throat. It's something, I mean, even a song that I've sung every night for a whole tour, if I don't keep working at it and keep myself from developing, bad habits, it's something that I work on constantly. And so the amount of singing that I do, I wouldn't be able to sing that much if I didn't work on it a lot. So yeah, no, I'll be a student until the day I kick the bucket.
Okay, now when you're not rehearsing, when you're having fun, what does Josh Groban do for fun?
I mean, when I'm off the road, I really treasure the really kind of laid-back moments I can have with my friends. I go see movies. I love to play tennis. And I really like normalcy. I play video games. I do love the tour bus because I can veg out and read a book or play video games. And I play with my dog. He's a great source of excitement in my life, which is somewhat sad, but also great.
Sweet.
Dog lovers understand.
Well, now what we want you to do is make a call, support this program. We're just about at the end, so we really need to hear from you now if you've enjoyed this command performance. Make the call or pledge online. So in the last segment, you heard the song Lullaby, which I believe is in this program. Yes, it is. It's on the Josh Groban An Evening in New York City, which you get in that $100 package. Now this, you told me this. I didn't know. You wrote that with Dave Matthews.
I did, yeah.
That's
kind
really
of
cool.
An odd pairing. Yeah, very cool. He's a very cool guy, and he's one of my favorite performers, one of my favorite writers, and have been lucky enough to have met him a couple times just through crossing paths. And I know he's got a very deep connection to South Africa as well. And I wrote the melody to the song after having met a bunch of children at one of the Mandela's feeding organizations in South Africa.
Oh, wow.
And I was so saddened by having to leave that place that this melody just kind of came out. And I had written it with a couple of words in mind, but generally speaking, when I write, the melody comes first, and then finding the words to match how I feel with that melody come later. So I sang the song kind of with gibberish and did it with an instrument called a vocoder that would just kind of take all my voices and put them together into kind of a choir part. And I sent it to Dave, and I said, I felt like you might have a connection to the song. If you feel like doing it, great. If not, I understand. And he said, yeah, man, I'm going to keep the gibberish just for myself because that's real special. But here's some words that I think would be really, really nice. And he sent that lyric back, and it was just so poignant and so awesome. And really excited to have been able to do it with this amazing choir on the special. I
got to tell you, this has been so much fun.
This has been so fun.
I've learned so much about you. And usually we just see you as this pop star, but there's so much depth and thought that you put into your music and your choices and your discipline.
Thank you, and thank public television for giving me the chance to sit here with you and talk a little bit about it. I mean, I'm so proud of being able to put this special together for you guys, and it's not very often I get to really talk song by song like I've been able to do. So it's been a great pleasure for me.
Well, we want another 10 years of you here on public television.
I shall do my best.
Well, if you've enjoyed what you've been watching, and I'm sure you have, I encourage you now, this is your last opportunity. Make that pledge of support to this station. Let us share the music from this command performance. And I'm Laura Savini. This is Josh Groban, and we'll see you soon.